Hello and welcome to my third episode of the Discord Oauth login series. So in this episode we're going to be going over how to get the access token from Discord using the code that was sent to us once the user logs in with Discord. So just to reiterate, we'll just start up our website, go to the link of wherever your website is. It should redirect us to this login with Discord page. Once you authorize that, we just set it to say print logged in, but you'll notice up here we have this code, right? So we want this. So I'm just going to quickly show you now how to actually get that. So instead of doing this, we want to say code is equal to, and we want to do request.args.get, and the parameter of get we want, you can see the name of the parameter is code right here, so we want code like that, and it's really that simple. And then we just return code like that. If we restart this again, just log in just for so you see here it prints that code that we want. So now that we have the code, let's get the access token using that code. So just to keep it separate, in our Oauth class, we're going to make a new method. We're going to make it a static method. We're going to call it static method, and we're going to say def get. We'll just call it means access token. So we'll just call it access token like that. It's a bit of a long name, but it's probably better to have it like that. So get access token, and as a parameter we want the code that's the same as this, right? Now, in order to get this access token, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make a post request to the Discord API and say, you know, here's the token. You know, I'm the this is the authentic request, giving me the access token back. So the way that we're going to need to have obviously some parameters, some JSON parameters for our post request. So the place to find that is this link, which is https Discord app developers docs topics Oauth2. You can probably just find this by typing in, you know, Discord Oauth or something, but I'll leave a link to this in the description as well, just to make it a little bit easier. So this is a sort of documentation. So if you look here, these are all the kind of base URL links we'll need. So right here, this is actually the one that we used for our actually redirecting the user to log in, and then right here is what we want. This is, so what we want to do is just copy this. So this is to get the token, to get the access token. So let's just call this Discord I don't know, you know, token URL, let's say. Doesn't really matter what you call it. So that's great, have that. Now in here we're gonna want to make some, so we'll just call this like payload is and we'll make a dictionary. So let's see, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see this is talking about the access code grant. This is the bit we've already done. Right here, these are the parameters that we're going to need to fill out in order to, in our JSON, and send to this, send to sort of this this URL. Okay, so first thing, so you can see this is actually all in Python as well. So this is a pretty good. I'll also, yeah. So I mean, if you read through this, you should also be able to get a similar idea, but I'll just go through it anyway. Right, okay, great. So we want to do client ID is the first parameter, and we're going to set that to our client ID, which is going to be here. So it's going to be, in our case, it's going to be oauth.client ID. Great, comma, and next one is going to be client secret secret. Fantastic. And then it's going to be the same Oauth.client secret. Right, next one. Grant type. Now this is a bit different, so grant type, and this is going to be always the same, so it's always going to be authorization code. Yeah, so it says it here, must be set to authorization code, so it's just going to be a string of authorization code. Next thing we want code, right, and then this is going to be our parameter right here, so we're just going to call this code like that. And then redirect URI, and we're going to set that to our redirect URI, so it's going to be oauth.redirect URI. And the last thing is scope, so scope, and we'll just set that to our scope as well, so oauth.scope. Fantastic. Right, so we have all that done. We'll also need some headers, I believe. So where is it? Yeah, so I mean you can actually just copy this really, because it's the same regardless, I'm pretty sure. So right, so and then we have headers, content type is equal to application x w form URL encoded. Great. So we have our JSON and our headers, and we have our URL, which is we've shoved here. So then we're going to now make a post request. So first of all, in this class, we want to import requests. Right. And once we've done that, we can then make a post request. So we're going to say our access token, access. So our variable access token is going to be equal to requests.post URL is equal to our Oauth dot. It's going to be our Discord token URL. Next parameter is going to be our JSON, so data is equal to, and then it's going to be our payload, like that. Get rid of that. Data's payload, and then headers is equal to, where is it? It's called headers, yeah, so headers. Right, headers. So this should get us our access token. Bear in mind that this access token it only lasts for a certain amount of time. So so what we're expecting is essentially, you said this is the response. So this is what we're kind of expecting Discord to send back to us. So it'll give us our access token. So it'll be a JSON object, and it'll tell us when it expires, and it'll give us a refresh token. So if you want to sort of consistently update the user's information, say, you might want to, because this token will expire. So if you don't access the user's data and store it, then you will have to refresh it because it will expire. So that's fine. So we have that access token. Just for testing purposes, we will change this later. But I'm just going to actually it's fine. Actually, let's do JSON is equal to access token dot JSON. It's a function. So and then we can get this code hopefully. So this is going to return JSON. Or we can actually do JSON.get, and then the name of the access. So it's going to be access token. Access token. There we go. Right. So now so this should all be fine unless it's giving me an error for some reason. Why is it giving me an error? And put a comma there. Okay. So that's all done. Great, so now that we've got our code, what we can do is we can do Oauth.get access token, and the parameters is just going to be the code, like that. And this variable is going to be called our access token. Access token. Right, and then actually what we can do is just return the access token and just see if this works. So run it again, go to the URL, log in, and it should all, there we go, right. And actually you'll see, you know it's working because the code that's given us right here is different to this code here, but this is the access token, right? So great, so that's concluding this episode. Next episode we're going to go over getting the actual user object using this code, and then getting useful bits of other information from that user object. So anyway, thanks for watching, and please watch the next episode, and like and subscribe.